Hello screenwriters, welcome back to the channel. I wanted to do a little bit of different video this time around. I watch a lot of YouTubers and specifically channels about financing and personal wealth and things like that. And one of the videos that I always watch from some YouTubers are they break down their annual budget for the previous year, or what their portfolio looked like. I wanted to share what Stratword made last year, as far as what I spent on the screenwriting application and just the overall Stratword business. All right, so I'm going to share these numbers with you just for fun. And I'm not sure if I ever said this. One of my goals with Stratword is eventually to have the platform fund my film projects, right? I'm hoping it gets big enough where the revenue I generate from users using the application, I could then flip that to produce my own projects, and then eventually, if it gets even bigger, redistribute that to help other filmmakers, right? Maybe I might have a fund to fund indie film projects, but one thing at a time. I'm going to share a very, very basic Google spreadsheet on how much I spent and how much I made for 2025. Now remember, this is not my personal income. This is just for the Stratword platform. All right, let's get into it. All right, this is the spreadsheet, and as you can see, I have it broken down from January to December, and this is 2025. Now I booked this is a template that I grabbed from Google, and it's basic. Now I have it broken down to business expenses, operating expense, transportation, business and general operations, and eventually, I'm going to fill these with more things as I grow as a business. But for now, I only have these categories that I'll share with you. All right. And then, so this is the expenses tab, and then the income. And then finally, I'm going to share what the summary is. In January, I spent $391 just on marketing. And yep, that's it. It was just marketing. And marketing means ads on the Apple App Store. And yeah, I think most of it was done on Apple App Store. I did a few ads on Twitter as well too, but it's mainly the Apple App Store. Maybe this year, 2026, I might expand it to Facebook not Marketplace, but Facebook Meta ads. I hear that Meta ads work great. In February, again, I spent $127 on marketing, and yeah, let me see. Yep, I didn't spend anything else. And then in March, I spent $161 again on marketing. And in April, I spent $40 on marketing and subscription and memberships. That could be anything from Google Drive to email marketing. Yeah, so I'm not sure the specifics. If you want in a future video, let me know if you want me to be more specific about which memberships and things like that. But as you guys know, everything's a membership. So yeah. And then software development. Now I spent $422 on software development. I hired developers from Upwork or Fiverr. It could be a bug I need them to fix, or it could be new features that I want to add it. In May, wow, I spent almost $1,300 on software development. Again, that's where most of the bulk or the money went to, is hiring developers, right? And I spent $400 on marketing in May. Wow, May was a big spend day. I don't know why. Yeah, and also in June, I spent again $30 on marketing, and then subscription and membership. I spent $70. Again, that could be I pay for Canva, which is very great. That's what I use to do all of the designs and sometimes thumbnail for this channel. So $70 on subscription. And in July, I spent $0 on marketing. I don't know why. $0 on marketing. And wow, I see why. And $87 on subscription and memberships. Wow. And okay, so now you can see where on cloud services, this is basically, this is where everything, all the scripts that you write is stored, in the cloud. And right now, the application doesn't have too many users. I'm not paying that much for cloud services. And it says 0, but as you can see, it's like 14 cents. Yeah, well, since then I've got a lot more users. It went up, but in like last year, that's what I was paying a month, around 14 cents just to store all the data. And I think it's going to be a lot more this year, especially now with the web application. I'm hoping it's crazy as it sounds. I hope this goes up, only because if it goes up, that means I have more users on the platform, which is great. All right. So let me see. Yeah, and in June again, I think I already went over this. Yeah. Oh yeah. So again, 9 cents, right? So yeah. In August, again, software development. I have to keep the application running. A lot of times, there's a lot of bugs. If you don't fix the bugs, you lose users. So I have to make sure I fix bugs and keep adding new features. So 528 on software development. Again, subscription, reoccurring, cloud, 7 cents. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, this was a huge one. Business courses. I spent almost $2,500. What is business courses? As you know, this channel is part of the whole Stratword ecosystem, right? I create content to eventually get people to navigate to the application so they could use it. And I wanted to hire a YouTube expert, right? Like a YouTube coach. I spent the funds to hire a YouTube coach to help me create better content. Like, for example, to work on my thumbnails, to come up with video topics and things like that. I think it was money well spent because I learned a lot. Ultimately, I had to end it only because it was taking so much of my time. I want to focus more on creativity outside of YouTube. Now, what do I mean by that, right? I'm a screenwriter. Even though I make YouTube content, I still have to write screenplays, come up with story ideas. There's a lot involved running this thing, and I don't want to focus too much of my energy on just the YouTube channel, right? Now, I know it might end up backfiring because if I get good traction on YouTube, then that converts people to the platform. However, I still wanted to make sure that I took time for myself to write, because ultimately, if I'm not writing, then what's the point of all this? As mentioned before in the last video, I'm currently working on my next feature film, which I'm excited about. All right, let's get back to the budget. All right, and in September, subscriptions again, $90. I don't know what, yeah. All right, let me see. Yep, that's about it. And then in October, subscription. Looks like I kind of, for some reason, I didn't do too much marketing in August. Wow, I kind of cut back on the marketing a lot. That might be a mistake. As you guys know, marketing, that's how you get people to know about your whatever it is you're doing, right? So 2026, I'm definitely going to pick up the marketing a lot. November, again, these subscriptions, they just keep going up. I'm not sure what these are. Yeah, I think I know. For those who don't know, if you have an app on the Apple App Store, you have to pay an annual membership fee to have the privilege of having your app on there. That's usually due around November and December. So I think, yep. As a matter of fact, I know that's what this is. This is the Apple development fee. And what's this? Domains and hosting. Oh yeah, you may not know, but www.stratword.com is not free. and I have to pay for the domain and the hosting and things like that. That is also due around in November. This is what this is. Now let's go to income, which is the exciting part. Yes, all this I spent money. However, I have to make money too, because if you don't make money as a business, then you eventually go out of business, and I don't want that. All right, let's see income. All right, as you can see, I have right here Apple App Store. This is where I would have to say 100% of my of the current income comes from the Stratword application, is the Apple App Store. Now, this year, 2026, I launched the website, and hopefully, when I do this in 2027, you'll see some income from the website. And I haven't created a Android application yet, but I do plan on working on that. Right now, the app is only available for the Apple App Store. Eventually, when I do the Android version, I could get some income from the Android. And then YouTube. Now, eventually, I hope to get monetized here on YouTube. And this channel, Stratword, is part of the whole Stratword ecosystem. So that would go in here once I start generating income from YouTube. And then this is like eventually, when I make enough money to start paying myself, because right now everything I'm making is going back into the business, right? And refunds, obviously, we're gonna have issues where I may have to refunds, and so yeah. Anyway, we don't have to worry about that right now. Right now, we're gonna focus on how much income I made from the Apple App Store. All right. In January, we made $451, which is great. I'm not sure what happened in February, but we didn't make no money in February. March, we made $407. In April, we made $301. In May, $123. In June, we made $324. So it looks like January was my biggest month. Interesting. I wonder why. I need to look into that. And in July, we made $293. August, $230. September, $92. In October, $177. In November, $286. In December, $338. Now, I want to say, regardless how much money, whether it's $1 or in this case in January, $451, I am so thankful for every cent. I'm telling you, because you guys are, obviously trust the application enough to spend your hard-earned money to use it. Thank you so much, and I have a commitment to keep making it better and better as the years go on. All right, are you ready for the summary? Some of y'all who are good at math probably already figured it out, but let's see how much money Stratword made in 2025. All right, spoiler alert, total income for 2025 was $3,022. Total expenses was $6,566 for a net loss of $3,544. As you can see, I have it right here. Unfortunately, we didn't make a profit in 2025. That's totally fine, because 2026 I feel is going to be a better year for Stratword. I have some exciting things coming. Yeah, and I think I'm going to do one of these every year. Yeah, just to kind of see, because a lot of you who are new to the channel or who's been around for a while, you've been following me on this journey as I develop my Stratword brand. And yeah, I want to be transparent and share what it takes to make this happen. All right. And thank you so much for watching, and fade out.
Brainstorm, break it down, make a dream, create a scene with Stratword. Stratword.